Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Fargo police have identified the couple involved in what officers describe as an apparent murder-suicide. Authorities say they are 78-year-old John Hamm and 80-year-old Lois Hamm. At 11 Saturday morning, police were called to a medical assist at a home on the 1800 block of 16th Street South. When they arrived, they found an elderly couple with apparent gunshot wounds. No other information is being released at this time. If you thought the past week was cold, just wait a day or so. That's when even more bitterly cold air will invade the region, and it's bringing some astonishing below-zero temperatures. Hutch is here to deliver those details along with what we can expect tonight. Hutch?
Yes, these temperatures are slap you in the face as far as knowing how cold it is going to be. As we take a look at a couple of the details, first and foremost, we will not return to above zero temperatures where we are now until Friday. So several days with air temperatures that could be as cold as 50 below in our viewing area and wind chills approaching 70 below zero at times, even with light winds under 15 miles per hour. Not only are record low temperatures possible, but we could see some of our coldest highs on particular dates as well challenged. Some things to keep in mind: protect your pets and livestock. Always dress in layers and make sure that you travel even a short distance. You have a survival kit with a way to stay warm. Frostbite, Andrea, can set in within 10 minutes. So you do want to limit your exposure for exposed skin. And you can keep up to date with the very latest on valleynewslive.com as far as cancellations go. This will be an impactful, prolonged period of cold. In fact, there is a wind chill warning until Thursday for the entire region. Here's a look at our air temperatures now. Above zero in Fargo, holding on to 1 degree for now. Now tonight, another problem is going to be visibility. That fluffy light snow is blowing around and it's zero in places. So if you're traveling, particularly in open country, be mindful of that. Air temperatures tonight are on their way down to the 20 below zero range for many of us with brutal wind chills. I'll have an hour-by-hour update on what you can expect for the rest of the week, but I think I gave you a big hint here.
You did.
It's just not going to be fun.
Not good. Thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
And remember, you can get all your winter weather updates at the touch of a finger. Download the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so that you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free. Our team coverage on what is to come weather-wise is continuing now with Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter, Bailey Hurley. She talked with the experts to see how to make sure both your home and your family stay safe and warm this week in the frigid temperatures.
With plummeting temperatures the next 48 hours, staying warm is a major concern for most in the valley. And when it comes to keeping your home nice and toasty, experts say it all comes down to preparation.
One thing that'll cause a propane or natural gas furnace to fail is if the exhaust gets plugged or iced up. So being prepared and doing maintenance on your system, filters are clean, everything is well maintained and ready for the extreme cold.
Mathis says the bitter cold isn't something that causes worry or outages on electric companies' end. Rather, just individual heating systems.
This week, your heating systems are going to be in full demand. They're going to be running pretty much 24/7. So heating systems typically fail when they're needed the most. So that's why being prepared is very important.
But it's not just your homes. You should be preparing for the chilly outdoors.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long for the skin to freeze in an environment where there's a 15-mile-an-hour wind and the ambient temperature is 30 below.
Dr. Beauclair says frostbite can set in less than 5 minutes if your skin is exposed.
Most of the time it's shallow enough and it's not a problem, but if there is a significant frostbite injury, the first thing you will notice is some blistering. It will look almost like a burn.
Saying it's most important to cover your fingers, nose, and toes before walking out the door. Advising to layer up as well, but not too much.
You don't want them to be too tight either, because tightness actually is not a good insulator. If you put 4 pair of socks on and you stuff them into your boots, your feet will get cold.
Now, right now, it's pretty warm actually. We're sitting at right about zero. When we wake up in the morning, we're gonna be -20. When we wake up on Wednesday, we're gonna be right near this guy. Now, just as Dr. Beauclair said, having your skin exposed in less than 5 minutes and the temperatures we're going to see tomorrow, your hands, any extremity exposed, less than 5 minutes, you're going to start feeling and seeing those first effects of frostbite. Now, he suggests that if you do start feeling those side effects of frostbite, get inside, either run some warm water in your sink, get a bucket of water or your bathtub for your hands or your feet. But he doesn't want that water to be too hot. You don't want to further damage your nerves. So put your hands in that room temperature, body temperature water, and just start doing some finger exercises with your toes. Warm those extremities back up before you go into any more hotter water. Stay safe out there, put as many layers as you can, and spend the least amount of time outside as you can the next 2 days. Reporting live in Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Bailey, for that live report. Good reminders. Meanwhile, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says he will not be canceling school statewide because of the cold temps. The governor's office says he will let each school district make their own decision on whether or not to close. The governor has only canceled school statewide once in the last 20 years. So we asked Moorhead schools about their cold weather policy. The district tells us their threshold is 50 degrees below zero, but they also take other factors into consideration. Coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 6, we see if any schools here locally are thinking about closing or not and what their policy is on how cold is too cold. A Thief River Falls man was sent to the hospital yesterday after authorities say he was hit by a car and found lying on the side of the road. The Polk County Sheriff's Department says 23-year-old Zachary Foley was found Sunday on County Road 21. That's near 240th Avenue Southwest. Officers say Foley stopped to check on a vehicle that was on the side of the road and had his hazard lights on. When he was crossing the road, Foley was hit by 38-year-old Joshua Melgard, also from Thief River Falls. Foley was taken to a hospital. His condition is not known. Weather and poor road conditions are believed to be factors in the crash. North Dakota U.S. Senator Kevin Cramer is taking up Savannah's Act as a co-sponsor of the bill. Cramer says this is important legislation that will help further combat crimes on tribal lands. He goes on to say, just as he did in the House, he will continue to work collaboratively with administration and allies in both chambers to ensure this bill is passed by the 116th Congress. The bill passed in the Senate last session but was never voted on in the House before the end of the legislative session. Another bill is being introduced today at the Minnesota State Capitol that's trying to legalize recreational marijuana. 10 states and the District of Columbia have already legalized pot. This morning, DFL Senator Melissa Franzen of Edina and DFL Representative Mike Freiberg of Golden Valley talked about their bill to legalize recreational cannabis in 2022. Their bill would make it legal for adults 21 and older to possess, grow, and purchase limited amounts of marijuana. Last week, a bill was introduced to let voters make the decision in a constitutional amendment during the 2020 election.
I would give a shout out to former Minneapolis Mayor R.T. Rybak in his column yesterday in the newspaper, where he said simply because we legalize something doesn't mean it's good for you. He said legalization has to be partnered with prevention. And I really believe that.
Governor Tim Walz has said that if a bill came across his desk to legalize recreational marijuana, he would sign it into law. AARP tax aid sites across North Dakota are beginning to open this week to help people prepare their 2018 tax returns. It's a free service for low and moderate income taxpayers of all ages, with special attention to those 60 and older. You do not have to be an AARP member to take advantage of the service. Last year in North Dakota, almost 9,000 people were helped with their federal and state tax returns. This year, more than 100 volunteers will staff 11 sites across the state. If you visit one of their sites, they ask that you have all of your documents that are needed to file, including Social Security cards, photo IDs, and a copy of last year's tax returns. AARP tax aid sites will remain open until April 15th. NDSU students will get a chance to become a part of preventing the spread of foodborne illnesses. This after the U.S. Food and Drug Administration recorded over 7,000 recalls in 2018. Students in the Public Health Department can now specialize in food safety. They will learn everything from proper food handling to the importance of being a public health professional.
And the worst thing that could happen, to a restaurant or to an institutional food purveyor is that an outbreak comes from the food that people have prepared in their kitchen. Public health food safety professionals will help teach other people about when they're preparing food, how to keep food safe.
Enrollment for this program is now open for the fall of 2019. It is subtle.